Hey everyone, let's get started. So here I have a 12 by 12 canvas and I am inserting a photo to start with. I like to take photos and manipulate them sometimes as a starting point for a project. So here I have a photo from Unsplash from the USGS, which is the United States Geological Survey. They put all kinds of amazing photos on Unsplash, and so you can find those there. And so what I'm doing here is I grabbed a brush and I'm using it to smudge the colors around so it looks more like it's been painted. And this brush is Oil Spill from OK Annie Designs from her Perfectly Imperfect Abstract brush set. And I will link that below if you want to check it out. It's a pretty amazing brush set. So here you just see me smudging around so that the colors kind of blend a little bit and it doesn't look so much like a photo. So just go ahead and watch this. Okay, now I start one of my favorite parts, which is blending in digital papers, digital textures to create something that I think is pretty awesome. So I'm starting to look into some of my folders to decide what I want to do, and I'm not liking those, and now I've picked this and I like this folder for this project. I've picked this particular digital paper, and now I am going to begin blending, trying different blend modes, and I kind of hover a little bit longer over one that I think I might like, and then I go to the next ones, and I want to try out everything because it's always kind of a surprise to me what might happen with these blend modes. And so now I'm pretty sure I like this overlay, and so I'm holding it longer to decide, and then I go back up to the darker overlays, back to overlay. And so now I'm holding it a little bit longer. Yes, I think I like this one. Now I'm ready to add in a second digital paper. So I'm going through to a different area on my iPad to find other options, and I've opened up this folder and I'm going through, as it didn't open that time, now it's opening, going through thinking about what folder I might want to look in for options, kind of just hovering here for a moment. And now I'm scrolling and I open this one. I don't see all the preview images. If anybody knows why I don't sometimes, then I'd love for you to comment and tell me why. Oh, I don't like this one at all for this piece. Too busy for this one. So getting rid of that, and I'm going back, and it's just kind of a surprise here because I don't see the preview image. And what happens here? Yes, I like that one. Okay, now I am resizing this 8.5 by 11 paper to fit on my 12 by 12 canvas. And now I am going to begin going through blending modes and looking through. Usually the one that I like at first when I land on it is usually the one that I ended up sticking with, but I always go through all of them just to decide what I think I might like. So I'm making the bigger just to look at some different areas and going back to the darker blend modes. Maybe color burn? No, back to lighten. Now I think, what would it look like as a different color? So I go up to hue, saturation, and brightness and play with the sliders here. And I'm liking this kind of pink, purple, aqua combo. And so I'm looking at that. And now I'm thinking, what do I want to do next? And my thought is that I am going to lower the opacity of this layer a little bit. Maybe, no, probably not. We're going to keep it at 100%. Okay, I'm expanding it a bit to see how the blending modes have affected certain portions of this a little bit closer. Now you're going to see me try some different things that I'm not too happy with. So there are a few things here that you see me doing that just don't make the cut. Now I think it's time to go to one of my highly textured papers, and so I've gone to one of my favorite folders and I'm going down through here till I find one that I know that I really like. So I am now blending that one, and so you can see me here blending, trying different blend modes here and scrolling up and down. And now I think I'm settled on color burn. I'm expanding to look at it. Now I'm toggling that layer on and off so that I can see the difference here between having it and not having it. And I have decided that I do like it. Now I'm sitting with it for a moment, trying to decide if I want to do anything more with this piece or if I am satisfied with it as is. And I'm thinking I want to try something different, and I am now going to go find a more traditional digital scrapbooking kind of paper, and going through a folder I have with some different things. And now I'm settling on this paper, and now I am going to be going through blend modes with this one. Okay, now I am going to hue, saturation, and brightness, and I am playing with the color of this layer here after it's been blended to see what changes I might want to make with the color. Now I'm wanting to kind of look more at the contrast, light, medium, dark values here. And the best way to do that is to create a new layer, fill that layer with black, and then set that blend mode to color way at the bottom to check out the values that I have. Now I'm looking at this and knowing that I want and need some more contrast. So I am going to find something to help me with that. And so I'm scrolling through here, one of my folders. I come to this overlay here. So I add that. And now I am going to be going through blending modes here. I like this overlay, but I'm going to keep looking at other options as well. So I'm scrolling down through the different options, and now I am zooming in on this overlay effect, and I am thinking that I am liking this right here. So I'm going to stick with that, toggle the black layer on to see the amount of contrast that it is giving me, and liking it, but not quite sure about anything else. So I'm sitting here with it for a moment, thinking about what else I could do to add some contrast to the piece. So I'm thinking maybe I will paint on a little bit here. So I've created a layer and I'm painting just this little section with the black and doing some blend modes, and I'm just looking at it just a little bit, and some of these blend modes are kind of cool, but they're still showing some black, and I don't like the whole black. It might be a little bit too much contrast, so I'm thinking that I'm just going to delete that layer and try something else. So I remember another set of overlays that I have, so I'm going to go find those and hover here for a moment, thinking about which one of these I might want to use. I scroll down and I settle on this one, and now I am going to be blending those in. I'm liking overlay, and I'll check out a couple more and see what other blend modes we have, but I'm really liking overlay, and we see how that blends in and creates some different colors, especially where this dotted paper is, and I'm really liking that. So I am going to stick with that and enjoy it. Now I'm checking the amount of contrast I have, light, medium, and dark values by toggling on that black layer, and I'm liking what I'm seeing with the contrast. And here I'm going to be turning off all of the layers and then turning each of them back on individually so that I can see the difference that each of them are making to the piece, and so that you can see that as well. And I am sitting here with that. Now I'm wondering what will happen if I rearrange some of the layers, how those changes will affect this piece. And so I'm turning things on and off as I make changes, deciding if I like that change or not. And so you can watch the effect that moving the different layers around has on this piece. I'm really liking how the layers are arranged now, the effect that it has on the piece. And so I'm looking here, and now I am going to be toggling on the black layer, and I can see that rearranging actually created even more contrast to the piece, and so I'm really liking that. And I believe I'm finished with it now. I'm really happy with it. So this is where it's going to stay. Thanks so much for watching, and comment below with questions or comments. Thanks.